Hey, let's get rocking here. Okay, so we're at this point at the moment, and we're just going to continue to extrude the body backwards of this particular submarine. A few reminders for you if you're just joining us after some time off or a variety of things. On my website or somewhere linked, you'll find a Blender help document. We're going to be talking about a lot of these. Some common things you're going to want to know are the shortcuts for like wireframe or solid view, as well as we're going to use a lot of these edit mode shortcuts. So BA for box select, select all, grab, scale, extrude, etc. Okay. Also, you're going to want to save regularly, and that's what we're going to be doing in this lesson. So let's jump into it. First off, remember that if you're in a weird view at any point in time, if you press the number 3 on your number pad, that's the view that we're working in. We're working in the right orthographic view. Secondly, always make sure that you're rotating frequently. At some point in time, you're probably going to have to either back up your steps or start over, unfortunately. But again, that just comes with just being patient and working slowly. Lastly, we want to work in wireframe mode, just so in case if we're not, if you press Shift Z and you're in solid mode, if you use the box select, what you'll find is you accidentally, even though it looks like you're selecting all the vertices, we're going to work our way backwards here, is you actually, if I extruded this, you'll notice that I only extruded half of it, because in solid view it only views what you're seeing and not through what you're seeing. So just be aware of that. So let's go ahead and get working here. So I'm going to go into wireframe mode. Okay, I'm going to press B for box select. We're also going to show you how to save in a little bit. And remember, now it's going to be the process of pressing whatever letter it is, extrude, scale, or grab, E, S, or G. And when you press that letter, doing whatever you need to do, and then clicking your mouse to end that particular process. So I'm going to press E and extrude backwards. And I'm going to click my mouse, say that's good enough. I'm going to press E again. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to press S, scale it down, and then G for grab. And you can kind of place this where you need it to be. You might have to scale it again. So you can see me, I probably want to scale this a little bit bigger. So I'm going to click my mouse, press S. Again, it's a little bit more of an art than a science, the order that you're extruding, scaling, or grabbing. So just be aware of that. So I'm going to extrude out again. Since it's going down pretty sharply, I'm not going to come out terribly far. And I'm going to grab those, kind of pull them down to where I need them. If it's not a perfect match, that's not a huge deal. But yeah, so you're going to want to work along with me, maybe pause this video. We're going to work our way to the back here and then do a couple of extra things. So if you want to fast forward this, more than welcome to, but just be aware of what you need to be doing to make this look like it does. And again, frequently rotating. You don't have to put them exactly where I'm putting the vertices of the boxes. Just make it kind of match the side view of the submarine. And we're going to worry about the propeller later, so don't worry about the propeller at the moment. Now at the back here, you're going to want several sets of vertices. You don't need an abundant amount, but a few, because we're going to actually create this gap here shortly as well. Okay, so maybe I'll just go that much. All right, so if you got into this point, make sure you have a good view at it before we get into the next step. If it looks like that, give yourself a nice pat on the back or something. And what we're going to do now, before we end this lesson, is create this space here for the rudder. So it won't look exactly the same, but we just want to create that space, okay? And remembering your keyboard shortcuts, I'm going to actually pan. So right now I'm holding to pan the screen or to grab the screen. Remember, it's Shift on your keyboard and click your middle mouse. I'm going to zoom in here at this particular point. Now, what we don't want to do is pull in all of these vertices. So what I'm going to do at this point in time is I'm going to press, or just click off of the submarine to deselect, and I want to choose the box. So I'm going to press B for box, and I want all of the vertices on this end except for the bottom and top one. We want those to stay where they are. Okay, so I'm just selecting these ones, and what I'm going to do is press G for grab and pull them in. You don't want to pull them past the other existing set. So pull them into the next set. Okay. Then what you might want to do additionally is if you got an extra set there, I'm just going to press B for box select. I'm just going to choose these ones here for now. And I accidentally added those, so I'm going to deselect all of them by just clicking off of my submarine. You'll just get practice with this. I'm pressing B for box select. I'm going to choose just these vertices. We're going to pull them in a little bit more, so maybe to roughly here. You just don't want to cross vertices. I'm going to deselect, so click off, press B. I'm going to choose these ones again and go ahead and grab them, so press G and grab them in. So at that point in time, I feel like that's where we're going to leave this lesson. You should have a submarine that looks something like this. We pulled in the back. Okay, we've got some sort of sharp point. I actually don't love the way that this is looking. So for those of you who don't love the way this is looking, another alternative, I just find that's a little bit too pointy on the top and bottom, is you could have, when you're grabbing them in, chosen and selected less of them. So I'll go back and do that, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So I'm actually going to undo lots of this just as a model to what you can do, and maybe just select everything except the bottom and top two. Okay? So it's good practice for you anyways to do this, just to get comfortable with the program, and getting patient with everything that happens in this program is an important thing as well. So I'm just going to rotate, and I kind of like that more. You can see that the top here is a little bit flat, which I kind of like in this scenario. But again, you don't have to if you don't want to. So that's it for this lesson. The last thing I want to show you is how to save. I didn't show you that in the previous lesson, and just a couple other items there. So for saving, you go up to File and go to Save As if you haven't saved previously. And you probably want to regularly do a Save As and save new file numbers. Okay. The interface is a little bit different than we're used to. So to find actually where you are, you have to go into, I believe, Volumes. Yeah. So up here in Volumes, you get a drop-down menu and kind of see your drives. If you're in my class, you know that you're saving in your H drive. Yours won't say staff, obviously, but I'm going to save my H drive. I currently have a computers 8 samples, but put it somewhere meaningful. Don't put it in a sloppy place. So I'm going to put it in my Blender video files, and I'm calling this After Blender. I'm going to call it After Blender 3. So this is the third video that I've made, which includes also my intro video for Blender as well. So I'm going to save that as the Blender file. There we go. I've saved that as well. And the last thing I want to show you is actually where the object list is. So I haven't shown you this before. There's an object list up in the top right-hand corner of this program, and you can actually rename things. So if you remember, the original object we used to create this body was a circle. And if you double-click on circle, I'm just going to rename it sub body. Not a bad idea, especially as you get into more complicated things, to actually name your objects. Don't worry about the camera, lighting, etc. We'll talk about this later. This empty is actually your reference. If you wanted to rename it, you could. So that's our reference image there, okay? That's about it, and we will see you next time.